For top female athletes, the choice between motherhood and career gets complicated. Up until last month, the US Tennis Association's players' seeding was brutal towards female players coming back from maternity leave. Serena Williams was ranked number 1 overall before her pregnancy, and now sits at number 183. The harsh public criticism that followed finally led the Tennis Association to alter its seeding protocol to account for players coming back from pregnancy. "It's the right thing to do for these mothers that are coming back," said Katrina Adams, president and chairwoman of the association. She also added that players returning from pregnancy should not be penalized for starting a family. Legendary beach volleyball player Kerry Walsh Jennings said making the decision to take time off and have a baby was scary.
Before we had our first child, I was told not to do it because they're like, you just won the Olympics, like you're gonna lose all these endorsements, people are gonna forget about you. When you hold your baby, it's gonna hurt your shoulder, your hips are gonna be the same. Like, people told me the craziest things.
And that risk of pregnancy is starting to piss players off. But let's start at the beginning. 25 years ago, then President Bill Clinton signed the Family Medical Leave Act into law, which included a provision giving eligible workers 12 weeks of unpaid leave. Keyword here is unpaid, to care for a new child. Today, the United States remains the only major country in the world that does not require employers to offer paid leave for new mothers, according to data from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. All this comes down to one thing. American moms are entitled to 0 weeks of paid leave under federal law. Let that sink in. While other nations offer generous paid leave, mothers in Finland, for example, are entitled to 3 years, while our cousins up north in Canada get 1. In the US, any paid maternity leave policy that's been presented has been criticized as a new national entitlement, a burden on small businesses, and best left to the employer, not the government. Basically, it's a social program. But for some US politicians, another word for social program is socialism. With inaction from the top, female players took matters into their own hands and organized. Back in 2017, the US women's hockey team announced they were sitting out of the International Ice Hockey Federation World Championship until progress was made during negotiations with USA Hockey. USA Hockey wasn't paying them a living wage, despite the team medaling in every Winter Olympics since women's hockey debuted in 1998. They asked for $68,000 in salary, equal treatment, disability insurance, and basic things like childcare, maternity leave, and more games to compete in. Of course, USA Hockey called their boycott a bluff and threatened to bring in scab players. Those efforts failed, as the team mobilized and were able to convince potential alternates at the college and high school level to refuse to step in for them. Their boycott drew support over social media from other players' associations from the NFL, NBA, WNBA, MLB, and the NHL. And 3 days before the start of the championship games, USA Hockey and the players came to an agreement.
We got, what we thought was fair and what they were providing for the men, and so we're really proud of that, and we're really, happy with the agreement that we came to with USA Hockey.
In similar fashion, the decision to organize professional female athletes has led to several victories. The WNBA pays 50% of its players' salary during pregnancy leave. The United States Soccer Federation offers the same deal, and lets players return to the team at the tier they were at before going out on maternity leave. The National Women's Hockey League Players Association doesn't have a union contract with the league yet, but it's safe to say that maternity leave will be a negotiation topic. On the international scene, the World Players Association, part of Uni Global Union, released its gender equality principles to promote the dignity of the players and the humanity of sports. Principle number 4, just and favorable conditions of work, puts maternity protection and protection in respect of family and caring responsibilities front and center. So while some progress is being made, it's still not enough compared to other countries. So until we get our own shit together, it will be up to female athletes organizing and fighting for better pay and benefits that'll bring about change, with our full support, of course. But for now, just imagine how better off US families would be if given the same resources as everyone else. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to click the subscribe link down below for more from Grandstand Central.